Well,
Good morning,
welcome. Welcome to day two of the
Sunday, day two.
Reset Restore Mini Retreat. We had a wonderful day yesterday. What do you think, Vanessa?
I think it was awesome. I think there was a lot of good feedback and insight, realistic, stories and input from people. So I really enjoyed it.
I did too. It was really, really special. Today, what we're going to be focusing on are a few new pillars. We're going to be talking, number one, about connecting and cultivating a community, a support mechanism for ourselves. We're also going to be talking about how to adapt and adjust with the world around us, our relationships that are around us, the things that come at us. And we're going to be finally closing the session today with thrive and transform. So hopefully, as we gain insights, as we go through each of these pillars, you're going to realize the importance of connectivity to a community of like minded souls. You're going to realize how adaptability, flexibility are so important, and especially when you're dealing with relationships. And lastly, you're going to realize that true transformation happens right here and right now. It's a process. You're not going to go from where you are this minute to your absolute best without going through a trajectory of change and without going through a process. So one of the things that we want you to take away is that your transformation starts now. Vanessa and I have created a huge program that not only has the Reset, Restore retreat in Costa Rica coming up in January 2026, but you're going to go ahead and start your transformation right now. You're going to be able to start your transformation right now because we have the tools already prepared for you. We have online courses. We're going to have a full, complete program that is a year-long program that will keep you on track. So if for some reason you want to come with us in January 2026, you're already prepared. You're already preset. You're already ahead of the game. Costa Rica is only going to be an enhancement, and then you're going to come back to your world and be living in a just beautiful, transformative part of yourself. You're going to let that butterfly come out of that cocoon.
It's a beautiful
And
way to reset and to start one's wellness journey. It's a really good way to jumpstart in a way, because down there everything is just so pure and organic. They don't use, harsh pesticides like we're used to here. So instantly you're consuming, the foods that our bodies were meant to consume. So it's very transformative, as you say, and you can feel the difference after just a couple days.
yeah, absolutely. I've noticed when I put food in my pantry here, if I don't use it right away, there's like little boll weevils that get in there. There's no preservatives in these foods. They will not last if you don't eat them right away. So yeah, it's a big difference. But for today, I, we have a whole bunch of great instruction to give you, and we're going to do that. But I wanted to start today with um, a little bit of a story as to how I'm here and why it's so important to me to transmit this information to you because we're asking you to open up your mind, and we're inviting you to make an investment in yourself. And my caveat to that, or my subheading to that, is you're worth it. And what's the price that you have to pay if you don't start taking care of yourself right now? Vanessa can chime in and explain to you what the price she had to pay. Even some of our participants, Lois, maybe later on throughout this session, we can hear what the price is that we have to pay when we don't put 100% of our investment into who we are. And I'm not just talking about nourishment through food. I'm talking about our emotional nourishment. I'm talking about our environmental nourishment. I'm talking about our psychological nourishment. I'm talking about our mindset. I'm talking about our heart set. What are we doing to ourselves right now that's just squashing who we really are and not allowing us to bloom? It's like what we were talking about yesterday, right, Vanessa? It was the part of your process that you go through. What is it that's blocking you? You know what you want. You know that there's steps A, B, and C that you have to take them.
Mm-hmm.
What's blocking?
Sometimes, yeah, you could be doing all the things, but if you're in the wrong environment, you doing those, maybe adding good routines, and changing your routine a little bit, and your environment is still going to control what's going on. So it just makes a big difference. If it's not all clicking, then it won't click. At least that's my experience. And you're just going to continue to have, more setbacks than you would normally. We're always going to have setbacks, but yeah, if you're not thriving, then you need to change something.
I totally agree. And then the other thing that I want to share with you is I'm here in Costa Rica at a very pivotal time in my life. I started coming to Costa Rica 20 years ago, but since COVID, I pivoted in my life. I made a decision to burn the bridges and stay here because I've been trying to develop a project here. I have a beautiful home here with my partner, which is great. I have other lots here that I want to develop because I want to have several villas here. This is 100 acres of property. And I've been working very hard across 20 years to try to make the project come to fruition. And here I am still with one house because I've run into so many obstacles. Yet I'm still driven. I'm still going because it's a passion of mine and I'm being pulled to make this a reality. I made the decision to make the investment here. And what did that mean? Not only did it mean a lot of money, but it meant time. And it meant letting go of something. I couldn't be here doing what I'm doing if I didn't let go of some of my things in Los Angeles. And I had to rely on people like Lois. I had to rely on people like my daughter. I had to rely on people like the doctor that works with us, Dr. Wynn. I had to say, okay, I'm going to give this part up and give it to them and let them roll with it so that I can be free to do this. And that's scary. Sometimes things don't work out the way you planned them to. And I certainly know that Dr. Wynn, Jessica, Lois, Vanessa, anybody on my team have their own perspective on life. They have their own way of seeing things. They have their own way of doing things. And I have my way and my approach to things. And they're completely different. But it doesn't mean that we can't work in unison. But what challenges me is I'm such a driver and I am so intent on doing what I know I want to do that sometimes I steamroll over people. Sometimes I just keep driving my point, even though everything that's staring back at me is saying, you're not going down that route. You're not going to scale that mountain. Even this, 20 years, a lot of people say to me, aren't you reading the writing on the wall? I mean, you're still fighting. When are you going to see that this isn't going to happen for you? And so I have learned that I have to let go of some things. Now, it may not be happening for me in the way that I had it planned, my book, I Am, Imagination, Action, Memorization. Oh, I imagined it. I took the action plan and I've memorized all my wins, but I'm still plodding along. I'm still going because it hasn't come to full fruition. But I think that life is that way. Sometimes we strive to go down this route over here, and we know that's our destiny there. And I'm sure 100%, yes, I know that if I see it in my mind and I take the action and that's going to happen. Sometimes it doesn't. And what happens there is that we have to zoom out even further and realize, whoa, wait a second. Maybe this obstacle is here because the universe has a much bigger plan for me over here. And I can't tell you how many times this is a beautiful house. How can I complain? I am so grateful. There's abundance here. It's beautiful. The birds, the monkeys, the grass, the green grass, my horse. I sit up on that deck and I watch beautiful sunsets every day. How could I be pissed that things aren't going my way? I'm living in freaking paradise. But my mind, well, it's not exactly the way I want it. I'm still fighting with that stupid guy who's my nemesis, and he's such a and stop it, because that is what's going to make you sick. Mm-hmm. That is what's going to turn you inside out. And if I can just step back and take a break and say, this is it. You are there. You have arrived. Now flourish in it and just be part of it and roll with the flow, because you, as a human being in this little blue speck within the entire universes of universes, are going to be just fine, because the whole thing works in concert, just like each cell in our body works in concert with the entire body. So just take care of this little soul right here. Just take care of this. Let the other systems will work because they are designed to work that way. And Vanessa can speak more to that, but they are designed to work synergistically. So everything that's happening in our lives, good, bad, and different, is the synergistic energy that is happening to create and manifest your life. So I want you guys today to keep an open mind. We're going to offer you a wonderful invitation to come with us to Costa Rica. Yes, it's going to be a sizable investment. Yes, you're going to have to figure out how to do it. Some people, it's going to be really easy. 1, 2, 3, I'm in. Other people are going to think about it, and that's fine. We're all different. But we are here to hold your hand and guide you down the path, because what we want is for you to get the ultimate wellness program, whether you do it through coming to this January retreat, or do it through our mini online courses, or do it through the mini online courses first and then another retreat some other time. Somehow, some way, you can put the pieces of the puzzle together however you want. But if you aren't true to your heart, if you aren't true to the deepest part of your soul, then you're going to pay the price. That's going to be so much more than the price of the investment that you can pay to work on yourself, to retreat, reset, and restore yourself, to find out who the deepest part of you really, truly is. And so all we're going to do today is invite you to join us. Vanessa, do you have anything to say about your journeys and how all of the going against the grain, how that works against you in your body?
Yeah, well, trying is definitely a good thing, but sometimes trying too hard, trying to fix things, trying to, excuse me, control things like I was saying, with your environment and all that stuff. If you're doing all the things, trying to control everything, but if you're not in the right environment or you're not spending, time with the right people, your body's going to absorb that energy. Your body's going to feel that. And our body holds on to lots of stuff. And our fascia, I think I mentioned that yesterday. Energy is real, frequency is real. Our bodies, our cells hold on to it, holds on to pain, holds on to trauma for several years, even intergenerationally. There are probably things in our DNA that are coded in there from other generations, 2, 3 generations ago, and it's scientifically proven that and also epigenetics, so your environment changes your DNA. And so I do think that contributed to my cancer. Now, I don't know if we didn't move to Minnesota, would I have still gotten cancer? Maybe. I don't know. I do have the BRCA gene. But I do think that, and although I know we made the right choice in moving to Minnesota to raise my son, I wouldn't take that back. I think raising my son in a small town, we had the right idea. When we originally left California to go do that. But I do think that just the environment, the shock of, winter, being inside basically 8 months, out of the year for almost 17 years, definitely changed me. It changed me physically, you know, um, just not having all the sunshine that I'm used to, not having the diet that I was used to, and so over time and just the stress, obviously, of raising a very active young boy, it was lots of fun, but definitely and then adding, nursing school on top of that and becoming a nurse as a whole different realm of stress. It really changed some things, and I felt things that I didn't feel before, with panic attacks and tachycardia, high heart rates and um, anxiety. I mean, I had mild anxiety my whole life and struggled with depression as well. And so being, in Minnesota is just not conducive to somebody that, needs nature. We all need nature in some aspect. Um, and although it's beautiful there in the summertime, I don't think it was really conducive, to my health, those long winters, being so cold. So that's why I did change recently. I'd made the change and I'm here in California now. And I already feel better. It was a rough couple of weeks at first, but this third week of being here is, a good week. And it feels like I'm getting back to my normal self. I have a little bit of a glow again, because I've been sitting outside in the sun every day after work. So it's just, you got to just change your environment. And I'm lucky that my son supported me in getting here and helped me get here. And, but going through a separation on top of all of this is also hard and stressful. And I know my body's feeling it. So I'm just trying to be kind to myself in that regard, as well as still healing from the cancer. I'm 1 year cancer free, but being the triple negative, there's a high recurrence rate. Mine's not as high because it was a localized tumor, so it didn't spread to the lymph nodes or anything like that. But unfortunately, and more research is coming out, I just tagged or I should say, saved a article last night about biopsies and how biopsies contribute to the spread of cancer. And we really need to have that conversation. That's a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, but it's one that needs to be had. So I did
And
the
it's almost
biopsy.
like the cure worsens.
Yeah. So, and more oncologists luckily are coming out and saying, hey, so our standard of care is not working. Like clearly there's some things that are working, but there's some things that aren't. And so it's pretty fascinating to see people start to just speak up about that, and then others to be more open-minded about it. Um, what else? Yeah, so environment is just really important. I do think that just really contributed to everything.
And and what would you say, I mean, for you, the coming back to Costa Rica is like closing the loop for the relationship between you and your mom. How do you think that's going to heal
Yeah, I
your
definitely think it's going to be, that's why I want to make this an annual thing. As I am still healing, this is part of my healing journeys, my retreats. So whether I go by myself or people want to come with me, this is what I'm going to do. Um, so that's why I just want to share it with others, and, try and make it as accessible as we can to others, because like I said, it's a really good jump start, to if you want to start your wellness journey, or if you're just if if you're practicing wellness actively, that's awesome. But as far as like a good reset, a nice detox reset just from our daily lives, in North America, it's, hectic. It's crazy. Everything that we're exposed to, the air, the soil, in our food. I mean, just everything. So it's just a nice, if you can afford to get away once a year, and kind of just reset yourself, why not? And, I hope to do more than one a year is my goal, but at least, once a year reset is better than nothing. So that's
yeah.
what I'd like to offer.
Yeah, and it's almost like not investing in yourself to do something like this puts you in a worse position. The return on your investment is nil, zero.
Yeah.
Whereas the return on your investment, if you make this choice,
Changes, and oh yeah, absolutely. It's life changing.
so yeah. So the question is not should I do it, is the question is what if I don't do it?
The
So
question is, how can I do this? How can I make it happen?
right, right. And we'll work with you guys on it. Um, the next portion of our session, I think Vanessa is going to share some instruction with us.
Yeah, the importance
And
of just community, and achieving the wellness goals. And you had touched on adapting and adjusting, but I think connection and purpose, having connection with people also can help with those adjustments, that you may be making. So, research shows that people with strong support systems are more likely to sustain healthy habits like exercise, balanced nutrition, and stress management. So, having those accountability partners and supportive groups can reinforce the consistency and help reduce setbacks, which is nice. Um, because wellness extends beyond just physical health. It includes social, emotional, well-being. It's the holistic thing. Why I consider myself, well, I am a holistic nurse. I've graduated with my BSN from one of the 15 schools that has a holistic program. So when you automatically graduate, you can uh, you're eligible for the holistic certification. So I actually still have to do that. I haven't done that, but I'm a PHN, public health nurse, and then I'll have the holistic certification as soon as I pay the fee. And yeah, so I just have to do that, but I've got the training for it. So I'll be certified soon. And yeah, it's a social, emotional, environmental, like I said, huge. I know not everybody can maybe change their environment, the city they live in, the state they live in, but there may be some adjustments that you can do to make it a little bit more conducive to your well-being. Strategies to connect with like-minded individuals can be going to yoga classes, just connecting with people maybe that you haven't connected with before or not as much. Walking clubs, support circles, online communities like ours. We're going to have this online community that's going to check in weekly, monthly, quarterly, or seasonally. I think we're going to change that to seasonally. I like that term better than quarterly. And yeah, I think that just remembering that meaningful connection doesn't require a lot of people either. And, some of us maybe aren't going to connect with everybody 100%, but we can all still treat each other with kindness and respect in that regard. And yeah, even one or two supportive relationships can make a big difference. So, reducing stress, improving mood, and just a stronger sense of belonging are also a few benefits of, a supportive network for growth. And other practical benefits might be like being able to just exchange recipes, just making another friend, fitness, finding other fitness tips or mindfulness tips, that maybe one works for one person and not the other, but might work for you. And yeah, that is just overcoming the fears too of rejection. I wanted to mention that. Like I said, you might not connect with everybody, but don't be scared, like to go to a new church maybe, or a new religious organization, a new, go to a coffee shop, go to an exercise class. Don't be scared, like, what if I don't fit in? What if they don't like me? Encourage the thought and reframe it like, what if somebody there needs my support too? So that is a good way to think, like, because we all need support. We all need it from somebody. It's nice to be able to connect, whether you're online or, like Claire and I have been doing for several months now, connecting while she's in Costa Rica, or she was in LA and I was in Minnesota. Now I'm in LA, she's in Costa Rica, and it's like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that connection, with her. It's been, especially after going through the cancer, this last year has been really tough. So having that connection has kept me focused on what is important in life. And it's not stress. It's not trying to fix everything. It's not beating a dead horse. And I'll just that.
Well said. Well said. And those are really, really good tips. And I know that when we send out the replay, that we'll also be able to post all of these tips for you, even in the Reset Restore Facebook group. There's an area where we can upload files in that group. So we're always going to be bringing you the latest and greatest with wellness and holistic tips. And remember, you guys, the community is yours. We are going to base our teachings, we're going to base the content that we construct on your needs. So the more input that you give us, the more you tell us where you are, what you need, what you're looking for, the more we're going to be able to craft this and design this so that it fills the void that you guys now have. There's a lot of noise out there today with wellness, and you can just go down that rabbit hole and just go into a vortex and get to the point where you just don't know where to start. My philosophy has been just take a little step today. Just even watching this replay, if you're watching a replay, or just watching us do this live right here and right now, even that, even you going on to the Facebook page and becoming a member of our group, that's one step that you took towards an investment in yourself. And that's all it takes.
Small wins, this little small wins make a big difference. And I can attest to that. It was little things that kept me going, after the cancer, because it's a huge, and I won't say the word that I say all the time, but it's lots of mind games, with the cancer. And it really changes your perspective on things when you're faced with a diagnosis like that. So, and I'm sure, other survivors can attest to that. So,
yeah. And later on in this course, you're going to hear from a beautiful lady who's a big piece of my heart, and she's been with me for many, many years. And maybe she'll give you a little bit of insights into her survivorship, because there's so many people that have been affected by cancer, and everybody has their own path that they take. So I'm sure you guys are going to gain so many insights from not just Vanessa's story, but other survivors. And I'm sure Lois will be more than happy to share. I always throw her in and say, Lois will do it. um, okay, so one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen with you for this one, because we've worked so hard over the last couple of months.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm sure that a lot of you have seen our Reset, Restore, Retreat page online. I kind of wanted to go through it with you guys because, you know, our purpose for this is to have a transformational journey to reset your body, restore your energy, and so that you can retreat into your heart. And we're inviting you to join us in Costa Rica for these 7 days of deep nourishment, energetic healing, and soulful connection. And this is designed for professional women, but it doesn't mean guys can't come. If some gal wants to come and bring her husband along, it's absolutely fine.
I want to open it up though to not only women, but if somebody has a teenage daughter that wants to come as well, anybody that like to come probably over the age of, what would you say, 13? I mean,
Yeah, I think that there are some of the adventures. We're going to go through the adventure here, and I think leave it
yeah,
up to the parent
yeah,
who would
we'll
like to bring their
but
child.
I don't think we specified that. So I just want to
Yeah,
put that out there that if you've got a teenage girls, that want to go, absolutely, they are welcome.
yeah, they are. They are. Unless you want to get away from your teenager.
Unless you need to get away from them. I get it. I get it. But how fun would that be? We can even do just like a teen retreat, for the young girls too. So
Okay, well, let's start thinking about that one.
about that one.
Yeah, that would be a great one. So anyway, what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're doing. I'm going to, Loie, just so I can ask you this, do you have this link and maybe you can put it into the chat?
I will look for it.
Okay, I sent it to you this morning, and then everybody can have this link in the chat. But I want to go over the itinerary because the first day we arrive, you're going to check in, and check-in is going to be between 12 and 3 p.m. depending on how many people come from Los Angeles. If most of the people that book from Los Angeles, we're all going to go from LAX to Costa Rica, but there may be some people from other parts of the country that come with us. So we're going to leave ourselves enough room so that people that are coming from other locations other than Los Angeles are going to arrive at the airport, and we will provide transportation for you to come from the airport to the villa. But day one, which is going to be a Thursday, and this is going to be January the 8th, it's going to be your arrival day. And as you come in, we're going to have check-in throughout the day, and we're going to facilitate your transportation to the villa because it can be a little confusing to find it. You're also going to have a welcome dinner. There's going to be refreshments when you get there throughout the day. It'll be your arrival. It's about a 6-hour flight from Los Angeles. So you guys, you're going to be in a travel day, and it's exhausting to travel. So what we want you to do is to just kind of chill and relax and kick back and enjoy the pool and just really have a wonderful relaxation from the long days journey that you took to get to the towers, which is the name of the villa that we're staying in. That's the villa that Cindy bought, and it was her dream to have retreats there because it's a perfect villa. It's got little rooms. It's separate little rooms all over the place. There's like 5, 6 separate rooms, and we can figure out who's going to bunk with who, and if somebody wants their own master bedroom by themselves, we'll figure it all out. You may have to pay a little premium to be by yourself and not with a roomie, but somehow, some way, we're going to figure everything out for everybody. So day one, your complimentary welcome drinks, and we're going to set the intention and the mood. We're going to have meet and greet. And that night, we're going to have a traditional Costa Rica dinner. And everything's going to be light. Everything's going to be healthy. Everything's going to be nurturing the whole 7 days that you're there. And then at the end of the evening, as we've all arrived and we've gotten, caught up and we've caught our breath, we're going to have a moonlight journaling session and herbal teas and herbal elixirs for closing the evening out before we go to bed. And I love all these little quotes. Take the time to read this, because almost everything will work again if you just unplug it for a few minutes, including you. And so, this is our chance to unplug and get away. And like, it's so true. How many times have you guys had to just turn your phone off or unplug something and start it again, and all of a sudden it works?
I imagine we'll have our phones for taking pictures, and that's about it. Nobody's going to want their phone for anything else. It's going to be, you'll need your phone for photos, because you're going to want to just take photos of the scenery and, probably the fun time that we're having.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be on the phone doing business. Tell everybody, I'm out.
Yeah.
Windows shut here, windows shut there. Airplane mode.
Airplane mode. You can have it for photos, but then we're airplane mode. Unless it's an emergency, we're off.
Right. And if you really want to do it right, you're offline. Give people my phone number or Vanessa's phone number. And if there's an emergency, they can call us, and then we can give the phone to you.
Yeah,
Chances are,
number too. There is a house number, I believe. So if for some reason there's a landline, somebody can get a hold of us. So
there you go. There you go.
The main host too has a phone.
Perfect. So no need for phones. Shut it off. So Friday is actually day 2, but it's really the first day that you're there in full-fledged mode, getting ready to reset and restore. And we start with the detox flow. Now, I remember seeing some kind of detox. I like the yoga idea, the Tai Chi detox. But Vanessa said something to me the other day when we were talking about it. She goes, we detox every day, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's scary for some people. Oh, I don't want to detox. Like, it's not going to be a hardcore detox to where you're needing the bathroom to be close by for the next couple hours. It's, we detox every day, right? With our liver, our lymphatic system, that's what it does. So our kidneys, when we pee, that's what we're doing, is excreting, all the junk. But there's still some left in there. So if you give your body basically the right environment and the right, nourishment to detox and detox properly, a lot of our livers are burdened. So to just help, like by drinking some warm lemon water in the morning and even before meals if you can, or even if you don't like the lemon water, you can do apple cider vinegar, before each meal to help with, stimulating digestion, stimulating that stomach acid for digestion and absorption and all that. So just, little things like that can help with detox. So it's just giving the body the right environment.
So anyway, we're going to be at our first full day, and we're going to have sunrise. And remember, yesterday we talked a lot about sunshines. The word sunshine came up a lot yesterday. And it is our source of energy. It is the truth. We're in this solar system. We exist here because of that sun. And we're going to be out in the sun, and we're going to have guided meditation in the morning. There's one thing I can tell you about Costa Rica. Your wake and your sleep systems, now I can't think of the name,
Circadian rhythm.
your circadian rhythms. Thank you. It just left my mind.
I can add to that when you're done.
Yeah, your circadian rhythms really work well here. We aren't ever on daylight savings time here in Costa Rica. And so the sun comes up early in the morning, just around 5 o'clock in the morning there, and it goes down at 6:30, depending on the time of year. And your body just kind of goes with that flow. I can't tell you how many times I've gone, whew, I'm tired. What time is it? 6:30. Like, because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up and I'm going and
you're up with the monkeys.
Yeah, the howler monkeys start at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
And if you have a rooster, forget it. If there's a rooster close by, you're not sleeping in. But by the villa, there's no roosters, so it's just the bright, the sun wakes you up naturally.
Right, exactly.
We don't have blackout curtains, so
no,
the sun comes up and your body just wants to get up, it wants to move, as soon as within like 30 minutes of rising, you're talking about circadian rhythm. If you get sunlight in your eyes, or even just walking outside, it's a cloudy day today, but I walk outside every morning, that stimulates then our brains and our bodies to make the melatonin, to start making it about 14 hours later. So the sooner that you get it in, then earlier. That's why we get tired, between that 12 and 14 hour mark, because it's starting to produce that melatonin. So
right.
That's our bodies, just kind of going with the flow, and I can attest to when I lived in Costa Rica for the couple years. The 6 months I got with my family was fabulous. And then the accident occurred and I ended up staying there for a little bit longer. And although my lifestyle choices weren't the best, I still felt great, all the eating, the healthy foods and stuff like that. Aside from, the other activities, I was, going out, dancing at the beach every day, surfing, and then going and dancing in the evening, a few nights a week. So it's a good, like I said, it's a good experience. Even if you're there for just a week, it's a nice little reset to start that detox and, go with the flow.
So I'm really glad that people now understand you're not going to be needing to be next to a bathroom the 7 days you're there. We're just going to have a normal detox that we have each and every single day, but we're going to have the awareness and we're going to be conscientious about it.
And it'll start with on Friday, then our first, get together will be lunch served on the beach by Coco Loco. So, and the owner is a personal friend of mine. They've served Giselle and Tom Brady when they were together. I think Morgan Freeman was just there the other day. They posted pictures. It's a beautiful place that lots of people like to go to, regular people and famous people alike. So I think you guys will be really pleased with the environment.
Right. And that's your first day there. So we thought, well, the first day should be kind of kick back, relax. You're by the beach. The beach feels like bath water. It's just so warm and so inviting. And Coco Loco's people are just the best. They will treat us like queens and kings, and we will be served upon. We will be given whatever it is that we need. And it's your trip. It's your day to just take in the beautiful paradise that is Costa Rica.
So you're going to get it. Reason it's you needed to run up to the house. The house is just up the hill. It's like a 10-minute walk. It's quite an incline, but it is close. But we have rides available. If you needed to go up to the house for any reason while we're at the beach during the day, that's also an option. So you don't have to walk up and down the hill if you don't want to.
Right. And some of you may decide to just hang out by the beach all day long and even stay for dinner and have dinner at the beach, because dinner is on your own at that point. And you're gonna, when I say dinner, TBD, to be determined by guests. You guys are on your own for dinner.
Imagine if we all want to hang out though, and we all want to go out to dinner, we can certainly do that. That's an option. But if, people, sometimes people, kind of click up and they, make friends, and that's fine. And that's what we want. So if
Right.
that ends up happening, go for it.
So day three, the intention for day three is to let go of emotional and physical toxins. So we're going to release and reset, and we're going to go to hot springs. We're going to do hikes. So we're going to see waterfalls. These thermal mineral springs are so good for your skin and for your body. You're going to just feel soft as silk when you come out of them. And we're going to do a little bit of breath work while we're there so that we can, de-stress as we're sitting in those beautiful spring baths. And we're going to obviously, every morning, if I haven't said this, every morning we have complimentary breakfast. So we will have our bellies full when we go. And then I believe, Vanessa, at this one, after we finish our hike, there, are we going to have snacks there? We are going to have a little bit of snacks.
Beverages are provided for this one. Yes. It's only a half day too. So we should be done, I think, like by 1 o'clock. And then we can just go have lunch after that. There's awesome little restaurants on the way back.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
again, dinner to be determined again by the guest. But if we all want to hang out, I mean, there's so many places that we can choose from. There's a great Italian place. There's, we can do local fare. There's all kinds of stuff.
So on that day, breakfast is included, but lunch and dinner is on the guests.
And throughout the days too, when we're at the house, there will be, endless, tea and beverages, water, obviously snacks, fresh fruit and vegetables to snack on. So
yeah. We're always going to have that available. And then I like all the little quotes that we've got. There must be quite a few things that a hot bath, there must be quite a few things that a hot bath won't cure, but I don't know many of them. I love my hot baths.
With some clay and some Epsom salt too. Yeah, that'll do it. And a little borax.
Day 4, Sunday, we're going to do deep nourishment and rejuvenation. This is January 11th. We're going to do a catamaran sunset, and we're going to go sailing. So it's going to be so much fun. We're going to do in the morning before we leave for the retreat, we're going to do a little bit of yoga and Tai Chi for our lymphatic flow, because every day we're going to do something for detox, and even in our Tai Chi exercises, when we do the lymphatic exercise where we tap all those lymph nodes throughout our system and help stimulate and open up that sanitation system that we have within our body. That's what the lymphatic system is. It's the system that takes all the waste out of our body, right, Vanessa? You can talk a little bit more about that better than I can.
Yeah, well, I just want to, I'll focus on the fact that everybody knows our heart pumps our blood, right? So our blood is automatically pumping throughout our body. Our lymphatic system does not automatically flow. So that's why it gets stagnant. That's why we get the swelling, the calf raises. I try and do 50 every morning. Sometimes I can only do 25. But yeah, just to get, your calf, they say your calf muscles are your second heart. And yeah, your lymph system is not moving unless you are. So walking 30 minutes a day, super important. Even after meals is even better. Even just 10 minutes, after meals can help with your blood sugar. But yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected. So movement is super important. We're going to start each day and end each day with some movement. So
right. Movement is the key.
If you're on your own, you're kind of, even if as you're getting ready for bed in your own room, what are you doing? What's your bedtime routine? Are you going to add maybe something new that you didn't add before, such as a 5-minute meditation or some stretching? I know stretching is a huge thing for me. I absolutely love it. I can tell, within a day, if I don't do it, and it really helps with sleep too. I think stretching is underrated. So yeah, definitely want to keep that lymph flowing, and it doesn't flow unless you are. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that day because I love the water and I love to sail. And so
I'm excited about the following day most.
the horseback riding. Well,
You wanted to go, oh, the quote. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, the quote, that's okay. That's okay. The quote says, within you, there's a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. So again, that's why we're putting this online course together. And that's why we have this mini retreat that we're sharing with you today, because really, wherever you go, there you are. So even if you come with us and invest in yourself and go to Costa Rica, the real true change is within. And of course, epigenetics is very important, and environmental, it's very important, and it's an asset. It's like, cherry on top of the cake. But just know, you guys, you can tap into that source anytime, any moment throughout your day. But yeah, Monday, day 5, horseback riding. Ride like the wind. It, to me, is one of my favorite things to do. One of the reasons that I'm in Costa Rica, well, besides the fact that COVID hit and I decided, well, I better do it now or never. But I finally got to buy my horse. All my life, I've wanted a horse. And I have my beautiful horse, Regalo, which means gift. And I love riding him. And so when we go on this tour, you're gonna have to catch up with me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be riding like the wind. So again, each day starts with the breakfast, and our intention is that you awaken to your eternal feminine power. I'm a warrior, you guys. I'm just a fighter. That's what I was built to be. I grew up with all boys around me. I had to fight for my territory. And I can see how, in so many aspects of my life, I am the warrior. Sometimes I have to pull back and I have to choose my battles, but I know I'm a warrior. And so when I get on a horse, it's like, the power that I know already exists inside of me gets compounded, and the power underneath me with that horse, it's magic. So I'm really
gonna have
excited.
to tell the host that you're a professional, because I think the rest of us are probably gonna just be trotting along the beach, following the host. And then Claire, oh, there goes Clara.
That's okay. I can walk. I can walk the horse, and that in and of itself is powerful. So,
if we can go faster, I certainly will.
Cool. Yeah. So, in the morning, we start a silent morning this day. And I don't know how many of you have been on a silent retreat. One of these days, we're going to have to do a whole silent retreat so that when you get there, you just shut up and you don't speak for a whole week. That I've done that. It's challenging.
Well, maybe a couple days I could. That'd be challenging. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are going to have a silent morning retreat, sunrise meditation that day. Of course, breakfast follows. We're going to provide lunch for you at the tower, and then dinner is going to be on you. And the quote is, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. I love it. Day 6. And you know what? It's going to go so fast. You think 7 days.
It's not enough time, but it's a good jump start.
It's going to go so fast, but it's going to be great. So day 6, embody and reflect. This is it, you guys. This is where we've made friendships that are going to last a lifetime. We've learned about ourselves. We've gone deep into our souls. We've reflected on who we are and why we do what we do, and what is it that's blocking us, and what is it that we can tweak and change so that we can open up that blockage, and how do we feel in our bodies, our minds, our hearts, now that that block is gone. And so we want to package all that for you in these 6 days so that when you come back home, you are a changed woman. You are a changed soul. And we want it to be embedded into your cellular memory. That's why we'll talk about my system, I am, and I'll teach you how that system of memorization, of remembering your wins, remembering those wonderful emotions is what's going to set you off to continually do that over and over again. Because when I talk about memorization, I know that you guys have heard about muscle memory. When I talk about memorization, it's like when I dance. When I begin a choreography, I struggle at the beginning to think, okay, right foot should go here. No, that doesn't feel good going there. Maybe I should turn it this way. Then I piece it all together. And then all of a sudden, when I feel the music and I know what steps I'm putting together and I've got that choreography down, I never have to think about it again. It's like getting on a bike and riding it again. You don't have to relearn it because your body is built to remember those pathways. So it's the way the brain works. We're set up to do things like that so that we can compartmentalize and say, okay, dance, she's got it. She doesn't have to worry about that. Now the brain is free to bring in other input and get other things going where you don't even have to use this part of your brain because it's got it. So one of the things that we want you to be aware of is muscle memory, cellular memory, imagination embedding into itself so that you create and manifest this life of your dreams.
Your intention to, change your routine a little bit now that you've had kind of a taste of maybe what it could be like. You're not going to be in Costa Rica, no, but you can take some things back with you, to LA or wherever you are, in the busy world, that can, set the tone for how you're going to show up every day.
Right. Okay, so
one-on-one
yes.
consultations, the self-care plans, we'll do those, and then you can take that back with you, to help kind of, set you up for your new chapter, your new program.
Vanessa, can you talk a little bit about, now everybody doesn't have to do this, but we're recommending that people go get their labs done. Can you share a little bit about what you want to do with that?
I guess, if anybody just has a recent set of labs that you want me to review that's already been reviewed by your doctor, I can help you with that. If for some reason there's nutritional deficiencies or whatever, and you had something that I wanted to review or that you wanted me to review, I can certainly do that, and we can add that in to your care plan. Otherwise, there are options if you don't have labs and you'd like to get labs. The blood draws are great as well, but I do like the OAT test, which is a urine test, and that measures, your gut health and what's going on in your gut. There's also a GI map test that helps with the gut. So I'm going to look into providing those if people are interested. And then the Dutch test is also an important one. That's also a urine test. It's a 24-hour collection urine test that measures your stress hormones and all that. So yeah, just really important, especially the OAT test. I like to see because that kind of shows our neurotransmitters. It shows how much serotonin and dopamine and all that we have in our gut, which is where
Can you share what OAT stands for?
All made there. So organic acids test is what
okay.
the stands for. Yep.
Cool.
So then we can talk about that stuff during the one-on-ones, and if people are interested in those tests, we can meet separately and do that. And then then our farewell dinner at Hemingway's will be that evening. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Right.
And
then while we're hanging around by the pool that last day before dinner time, if we're going to bring spas to the retreat. In other words, we're going to bring in a masseuse, a manicurist if you want your manicure. We can even bring in a facialist. I mean, we can find people to come to the house and do a little mini spa for you guys. You just have to let us know. That's an additional charge, but
We
still.
can do it at the house, or we can just go out on the town and get it done too. It's whatever people want to do. They might want to immerse themselves in the, community as well and just go to the salons. We can certainly do that. We have options. So
Yeah, we're going together as a group. So whatever the consensus is, we'll make sure that we get it done for you. We're your leaders. Come to us, let us know what you need, and we will make sure that we offer it up to you. So your body is your home. Treat it with love, listen to it deeply, and it will carry you with grace. Yeah.
And then yes, the farewell. Did you want to redo that since we kind of we bounced around, or did you like that?
What? No, I think the farewell dinner at Hemingway's is part and parcel of what we're doing. So that's included in the whole retreat. And it's the last day that we hook arm in arm, and the last evening that we hook arm in arm, because the next day is integration and departure. We're going to have our final sunrise meditation and intention setting, and we're going to have our complimentary breakfast, and then just a closing movement practice. Again, lymphatic flow is very important. So we're going to be doing a lot of yoga and Tai Chi so that we can get our lymphatic flow going. And it's very, very important for detoxing. And then we depart back to the airport. At this point, we have the transportation available at an additional cost. We're still trying to work a few things, but know that this itinerary may change. I can't completely say this is it, it's never going to change, but it's pretty much, set as far as the adventures and things of that nature. But a few tweaks here and there to try to make it better for you is what we're working on now. So go ahead and save your spot today. Lois, did you have a chance to pop this into the
Yes.
pool?
Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple links.
Okay, so the link is there for you guys, and when we do the replay, we'll also make sure that you guys get the link. So yeah, you have arrived, and you'll see in this page, all the different. This is the pool, and this is the house looking over the beautiful beach there in Flamingo Beach. And you see two different beaches. It's positioned in such a way that you see a black sand beach and a white sand beach, and it's just gorgeous. This is the view from one of the rooms. We call this Cindy's room, and there's just so many other little rooms. This is a shared room, obviously. So we've got a bunch of little rooms for you guys. Oh, I love the tower. The tower is another room that it's the tower. It's way up.
360-degree view. Yeah.
360 degrees.
Everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's a primo room. So
it's a little windy. It can get windy up there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And you know what? I've got a little thing with what others are saying, but I actually have a person with me right here who made a beautiful little video that shows us what you can expect, and I'm gonna put that little video on. And by the way, here's the order form. It's right on that retreat page, and right now we're running the early bird special between now and October 31st, you save $1,000 on the trip. So the regular price is $6,798, but early bird tuition will bring it down to $5,798. All you need is a $500 deposit right now. And there's only 9 spots available. Actually, there's already a few spots that are taken, but we'll work with you. I mean, I think Vanessa and I are trying to sneak in a couple more spots. But just fill out the form and at least reserve your spot. And we do have a guarantee. You do have, any problems that might arise, you do have a 30-day money back guarantee, so that's not an issue. We'll work with you. But I want to let you guys hear from somebody who has experienced one of our trips. Hang on for a moment. We're going to go listen to Miss Loie. Tell me, you guys, thumbs up.
Hi, I'm Lois. I had the fortune of attending Clara's yoga retreat in Costa Rica in 2014, and the experience remains one of the most magical journeys of my life. From the moment I arrived, every detail of hospitality was there, beginning at the airport pickup to stopping along the drive to feed the monkeys. By the time I reached the beautiful retreat house with its infinity pool overlooking the green hills and the ocean, I felt fully embraced by the spirit of Costa Rica. Each day unfolded with yoga by the pool, delicious and authentic meals prepared by local cooks, and moments of restoration with massage, journaling, and guided meditation. Trips to the beach offered endless choices, surfing, snorkeling, or simply sipping coconut drinks, my favorite, while soaking in the sun. The rhythm of our days created space for both joy and stillness, with the sounds of howler monkeys at night as the perfect lullaby. What made the retreat especially transformative was the sense of community. Our conversations, shared meals, and new experiences together became the foundation of lasting friendships. I still smile when I think about ziplining or horseback riding, dancing in the sand, laughing by the pool, and living fully in the present. Saying yes to Clara's retreat was truly a gift to myself, one I will always treasure. If you're considering it, trust me, take the leap. The magic of Costa Rica and Clara's guidance will stay with you long after you return home.
Ah, magic. What I wanted to go over on this slide is the breakdown of what our program truly is, because you're not just getting a retreat in Costa Rica. If this is an investment into yourself for a whole year program, because not only are you getting airfare and transportation to the retreat, which is going to fall into the range of about $1,500. If you were to go ahead and do this on your own, if you wanted a 6-night ocean view villa, you're going to be working at least $3,000 for those 6 nights and 7 days there. If you get yoga and movement and therapy and breath work therapy each and every single day that you're there, minimum you're going to have to give somebody $500 to spend with you to go through those sessions. You're going to get 4 eco adventure tours. Those are not going to cost you any less than $1,500. Organic gourmet meals, you're getting 13 meals with us. No less than $500. I mean, I've tried to shave this down to as minimal as possible so that people could see really what it is that they're getting. And then a personalized coaching community and connection. So you guys, some of you are already part of our coaching community now that you have signed up for the Facebook group community. And we're going to be uploading certain things in there and coaching. We want you to have access to our online courses and have access to Vanessa and myself for personal coaching. If you were going to do that, you know, you'd be spending a good $1,000 or more in a year to have personal coaching. Remember what Vanessa and I talked about earlier today was we plan on having weekly group calls, monthly group calls, individual private calls, and seasonal calls with you so that you can have a measurement of your progress as we go through. And we're going to start the program now. Your $500 deposit gets you in now. So you're already starting your Reset Restore plan today, starting now. Now, we're going to not officially start the program until October online, but we've already got online classes. So So the program starts the minute you give us that $500 deposit, and we're not going to officially start our online programs until October, but yes, over and above the retreat, you're going to get my I Am book and coaching program, which is a $497 value. My Sit and Fit online courses, which is another $497 value. Vanessa's going to have lifestyle reset coaching for you available on her website, $497. You're going to get weekly group calls. Hey, listen, I charge $100 an hour. So just either Vanessa or me on our own, and we're both coming to you guys. If you were to do weekly calls, you're going to be paying $1,200 a year. Weekly calls, you're going to end up, the weekly fitness sessions, you're going to end up paying $1,200. And the quarterly or seasonal private assessments, let's call that at $100 an hour with an expert, at least a minimum of $400. So if you put together both the retreat and the online wellness programs that we're going to be offering in this package, you're going to be getting a value of $12,541. So when we go to I'm going to share my screen again. So that $12,000 value, your investment in yourself is going to be $57.98 if you do the early bird, or $67.98 if you do the standard plan. And Vanessa and I have talked about being able to work with you guys. If you don't get to the retreat this year, you can get to it next year or a year after that. We will work out a plan wherein what we want you to see is progress with your wellness, your health, your psyche, your physicality. We want you to see all that. From there, we can work towards getting you to have the experience of a lifetime in paradise with us. So I'm really just excited to no end here. I'm going to stop sharing here. So I am excited to no end because Vanessa and I have been working really hard. I mean, she and I have been going at this, and Loie can attest to it. We've been going at this since March. Just what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make it so that we can give people everything that they need at a reasonable price? And I think that, again, it's what Vanessa was saying. It's not, can I do this? Is yeah, how can you do it? Not can I do it, but how can I do it? Because the cost of you not investing in yourself is going to be so much higher. I don't know what your medical bills are, Vanessa. Loie, you too. You had to go through cancer too. I don't know what your medical bills are, but I'm sure it's a little bit more than $67.98. Loie, do you want to share anything else about your experience of being a survivor?
Absolutely. So the reason I said 20 some years was that's how long. It's been 21 years for me when I was diagnosed in 2004. And then treatment was long. And the thing is I did a lot of things. Went to DC after 18 months when I joined the National Breast Cancer Coalition to try to have it so eventually we end breast cancer. And here we are 20 some years later. And not only seeing you in March, I think, Vanessa, and understanding that you were just now going through, it's like it breaks my heart. And I have two very close people who are your age, my niece and another lady in her 40s who is like my little sister. Both were diagnosed in March. Crazy. And so I'm revisiting that. And I want to say what I usually say to anyone, anything, is there is dancing after cancer. And also there is dancing after chemo, which is a whole nother set of things. I think that's what you're saying. I've forgotten about it. I actually decided what my cancer would mean. I got to meet Clara and took a different path. If I'm gonna live forever, cancer didn't get me. Might as well have a great fun, do what I want to do. I want to dance. It just came up for me. And I think back on something about take my word for it. Okay. When my nephew, who is now just turned 25, he would come to his grandmother, my sister's pool. Man, he wanted to get in the water. He had his little water wings on, but he just wouldn't do it. And I kept, it's with all my being, I would say to him, I know you don't understand. It looks scary. It's whatever it is, it's a big leap, but I guarantee you're going to have fun. And I remember a whole day of sitting there going, come on, Nikki, you can do this. And once he got in the water, of course, we couldn't get him out. And so there's some part of that I hear. There's lots of emotion and connection and things we can talk about. When I was going through cancer treatment, at the very worst, I remember getting out of the shower and looking in the mirror and no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, big red circles from what had gone on with my eyes, all sorts of things. And I swear I looked like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. And I just said out loud, my God, what more do you want from me? And I actually heard a voice, don't have this happen very often, but it said, I haven't even begun with you. And my first thought was, oh, you mean I'm going to get some other crazy disease? And then I started laughing, which I do try every day. And it's like, I got it. This is not what defines me. Cancer is not. And so if I can tell anyone that my experience, I can only give you the pictures. I can give you my heart, what I can say. And I'm so happy to be able to say that here. Come on, I know this will be something you will value for the rest of your life. So thank you for giving me that opportunity to speak it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Lois. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lois. And thank you, Vanessa. You guys are such blessings in my life. I love you both very, very much. And I know that it's so hard to have to move through all that pain. And I know that within yourselves, you remember the pain. And sometimes it's important to hold on to the pain, to just have a reference and to remember, yeah, that was then, this is now,
She said
and
that I did not want it to define me, like there actually has been a couple days where I've forgotten that I still have my port. I've forgotten that I still have one more surgery to go. And it feels good when I remember that I forgot. I'm like, oh, yes, that feels good. I'm releasing it, because I don't want to always talk about it. I want to help people, absolutely, and talk about my survivorship story and what I did, before, during, and after and whatnot. But I also, there's other things that I can educate about too. That's definitely not the one thing that I want people to know me for. So.
But what's really interesting as I hear your stories, it's an integral part of who you are. And so I think that I have learned in my many years of being on this earth that we all go through trauma, and your trauma is not my trauma. And so there's really no way that I can feel your pain. I know my pain because that's within my body and within my system. But I know that I can get to the point with my pain that I can put it away in a little box and know that it exists and it's made me who I am today. But it's actually given me resilience. It actually has catapulted me to a higher level of understanding of myself. So if we can, as survivors of whatever trauma, as survivors, we can hold on to that pain as a stepping stone, as a realization that, yeah, this made me who I am, because had I not come into that trauma, had I not come into that pain, I wouldn't be in the place that I'm at today. So I honor both of you. I admire both of you for your steadfast attitude that you're going to work through this. And the most important thing is you both have a mission in your life right now to reach out to other people and help other people. And definitely, Vanessa, with your nursing, and definitely, Lois, with your advocacy. So I honor you. I admire you. I'm glad that you are women in my circle because it enlivens me and it gives me the sense of strength and fortitude to go out and face the world, because if you guys can do it, I can do it too. And I love you guys. I think that we had a wonderful session today. I hope you guys, if you have any questions, we're here for you. If you didn't come to the session live today, we're going to set out a replay for you. And we're going to continue just sharing with you about the adventure, and we want you to come on board. So for now, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
See everybody. Take care. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.